The galaxy believed humanity was weak, not because humans were small, not because they were stupid, but because they were young. Humans had only stepped into the wider galaxy a short time ago. Compared to ancient empires that measured history in thousands of years, humanity was new, loud, emotional, full of arguments and hope. Alien leaders often spoke about humans in calm, confident voices. They feel too much. They act before thinking. They trust too easily. And that last weakness was the one the galaxy watched closely. For decades, humans tried to prove they belonged. They joined the Galactic Alliance, a massive union of powerful alien worlds. Humans did not demand control. They did not ask for special rights. They only asked to be treated as equals. So they helped. When pirates attacked trade lanes, human fleets responded first. When border worlds were threatened, human soldiers were sent. When wars broke out between alien powers, humans stood in the front lines. Human technology was shared freely. Human engineers rebuilt shattered stations. Human scientists gave away discoveries that could have made them rich. And when alien worlds burned, human ships burned with them. Human fleets bled for planets that were not theirs. Human graves filled for flags that were not human. The galaxy praised them. Brave, they said. Loyal, they said. Useful, they said. But behind closed doors, a different conversation happened. Humanity was growing too fast. Their fleets adapted quickly. Their technology improved at frightening speed. Their soldiers learned from every loss. Some alien leaders began to worry. Humans do not forget lessons, one warned. They do not stop improving, said another. If we wait too long, they may become impossible to control. The decision was made quietly. No public vote. No official announcement, just a plan. It was called a joint operation. Human admirals were invited to help secure a distant region of space. The mission sounded simple, routine, safe. Human commanders trusted their allies. They always had. Coordinates were sent. Orders were confirmed. Fleets moved into position. Human ships jumped into the target system together, expecting friendly signals. Instead, they found silence. Then sensors lit up. Alien fleets appeared on every side. Not enemies, not pirates, allies. Human captains hesitated. Confused messages flooded their channels. Alliance command, confirm identification. There must be a mistake. Why are your weapons charging? There was no answer. Alien weapons powered up. No declaration of war followed. No demands were made. No chance to retreat. The attack began. Energy fire tore through human shields. Missiles smashed command ships apart. Entire fleets vanished in fire and debris. Human ships tried to escape. They were hunted down. Human distress calls were cut mid-sentence. Human admirals died, watching friendly symbols turn red. It was over in minutes. Across human space, the betrayal continued. Colonies were seized under emergency authority. Human trade routes were blocked. Human worlds were declared unstable and isolated. Alliance forces took control of stations, gates, and supply hubs. No negotiations, no explanations. The galaxy moved fast, efficient, and cold. Public statements followed soon after. This action was necessary. Humans were becoming dangerous. This was prevention, not cruelty. Galactic media repeated the words endlessly. Necessary, prevention, stability. Most species accepted it. Humans were young. Humans were emotional. Humans would emotional. Humans would panic. The galaxy expected desperate messages from Earth. They expected human leaders to beg for mercy. They expected protests, threats, and chaos. They expected humanity to collapse under pressure. But something strange happened. Human space went quiet. No emergency broadcasts. No diplomatic pleas. No angry speeches. Human channels went dark one by one. At first, the galaxy thought it was fear. Then days passed. Then weeks. Still nothing. No riots. No surrender documents. No surrender documents. No calls for help. Alliance sensors showed human shipyards shutting down. Human fleets disappearing from known space. Human borders sealing completely. Alien leaders smiled. They are broken, they said. They finally understand their place. Then one final message escaped human space. It was short. It was calm. It was sent on every open frequency, without encryption, without emotion. Just 2 words. We understand. No threats followed. No explanations came after. The message ended. The silence returned. And for the first time since the betrayal, The galaxy felt uneasy because humans were emotional, but they were not stupid. And when humanity said, "We understand," it did not sound like surrender. It sounded like acceptance. The galaxy believed the silence meant fear. That was the mistake. Across Alliance space, analysts studied human systems. Their reports looked calm and reassuring. Human shipyards were dark. Human fleets were missing. Human borders were sealed tight. No movement, no signals, no resistance. Alien leaders relaxed. "They are grieving," one counselor said. "They lost too much too fast," another agreed. "Soon they will ask for peace." But inside human space, the silence had a different meaning. Humans were not grieving. They were changing. On Earth, emergency laws were passed in hours. Old rules that once slowed decisions were erased. Political arguments stopped. Parties dissolved. Borders inside human space no longer mattered. For the first time in human history, humanity spoke with one voice. And that voice said nothing to the galaxy. Deep underground, facilities long hidden came alive. Projects that had been locked away for being too dangerous were reopened. Human scientists worked without sleep. Human engineers ignored safety limits. Human generals studied the betrayal again and again. They replayed every second. They learned who fired first. They learned who gave the false orders. They learned who gave the false orders. They learned who signed the commands. Names were recorded. Systems were mapped. Patterns were discovered. Humans did not scream. They counted. In secret shipyards far from known trade routes, massive frames began to form. These ships did not follow Alliance design rules. They did not follow old human rules either. They were built for one purpose only: certainty. No bright lights, no proud markings, no public launches, only cold metal and quiet power. Human fleets did not gather near borders. They vanished into deep space, places where no maps existed, places Alliance sensors never watched. Meanwhile, the galaxy moved on. Alien trade recovered quickly. Alliance leaders congratulated themselves. "The human problem is solved," they said. Galactic schools updated history lessons. The betrayal was explained as a smart decision. Humans were described as unstable and risky. Children across the stars learned one simple story: humans could not handle power. But small problems began to appear. A remote listening station failed to report in. Then another. No distress call, no wreckage. Alliance patrols were sent. They found nothing. Trade ships vanished next. Entire convoys disappeared between systems. Insurance companies blamed pirates. Officials blamed navigation errors. Still, no wreckage. Still, no survivors. Then a border fleet vanished. An entire Alliance battle group. Thousands of ships. Gone. This time, panic whispered through command halls. Long-range scans showed strange readings. Shadows moving where ships should not exist. Energy patterns no known species used. Some officers spoke the word quietly. Human. Their superiors dismissed them. Impossible, they said. Humans are hiding. Humans are afraid. But fear began to spread. Old veterans remembered something. Humans did not respond quickly. Humans responded completely. Years earlier, during a small border war, humans had lost badly in the first battle. The enemy had celebrated too early. By the end of that war, the enemy no longer existed. Now, that memory returned. Alliance intelligence tried to breach human space. They failed. Human networks were sealed tighter than ever before. Every probe vanished. Every signal bounced back empty. Human space became a black wall. Then came the first confirmed sighting. A deep space observatory detected movement far beyond known routes. At first, the data was dismissed as noise. Then it moved again. The object did not use warp. It did not use jump gates. It did not slow down. It simply appeared closer each time it was observed. When Alliance scientists analyzed the readings, they grew quiet. "This ship ignores known physics," one whispered. "It bends space instead of traveling through it." The report reached the highest councils. Panic followed. Emergency meetings were called. Some leaders demanded answers. Others demanded weapons. Still, no one dared contact humanity, because no one knew what to say. Then the message came. Not from Earth, not from a human world. It came from empty space, a single transmission, narrow and controlled. No emotion, no anger, just information. It showed a map. Every system where human blood had been spilled. Every colony taken, every fleet destroyed. At the bottom of the message were words written in simple human language. These accounts are not closed. The transmission ended. Across Alliance space, Commander stared at the message in silence. Some understood immediately. This was not revenge. This was accounting. Humanity was not striking in anger. They were correcting a balance, and they had all the time they needed. Far beyond the edge of the galaxy, human fleets moved into position. No banners, no speeches, only purpose. The galaxy had betrayed humanity once, and humanity was done pretending it hurt. For a long time, the galaxy tried to deny the truth. Alliance leaders told themselves the disappearances were accidents, pirates, sensor errors, anything but humans. Because accepting the truth meant accepting fear. But fear grew anyway. More systems went silent. More fleets failed to return. More borders closed without warning. And still, there were no battles, no explosions, no heroic last stands, no survivors telling stories. Ships simply vanished. Alliance Command finally admitted what many had whispered. Someone was hunting them. Special investigation fleets were formed. These fleets were old and powerful, built to crush rebellions and erase worlds. Their commanders were veterans of countless wars. They were not afraid of humans. Humans rely on emotion, one admiral said. They rush. They make mistakes. That belief died quickly. The investigation fleets entered a quiet region of space once used by humans for training. Sensors detected faint movement, shadows at the edge of detection. The fleets went to full alert, weapons charged, shields raised, orders repeated again and again. Then the shadows moved. Human ships appeared without warning, not jumping in, not warping. They were simply there. The ships were unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Smooth, dark hulls that swallowed light. No markings, no visible weapons. The fleets opened fire. Nothing happened. Energy beams bent away. Missiles vanished as if swallowed by space itself. Then the human ships responded. No bright flashes, no dramatic explosions. Alliance ships went dark, engines shut down, weapons powered off, command systems froze. One by one, entire fleets were left drifting helpless. Human ships did not destroy them. They scanned them. They copied data. They stripped secrets. They learned everything. Then they vanished again. Alliance commanders were left staring at silent screens, surrounded by powerless ships. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt naked. Emergency councils were called. Accusations flew. Some leaders demanded immediate war. Others begged for talks. But no one knew how to reach humanity. Human space was still silent. Inside that silence, humanity continued its work. The betrayal had changed them. Before, humans built ships to protect worlds. Now they built systems to control space itself. Human engineers did not care about beauty. Human scientists did not care about safety. They cared about one thing: control. They learned how to shut down fleets without firing a shot. They learned how to rewrite enemy systems mid-battle. They learned how to move unseen. Human soldiers trained for patience, long waits, quiet movement, perfect timing. They did not want glory. They wanted results. On Earth, a simple rule guided every decision. No more surprises. Human intelligence mapped the entire alliance structure. Who commanded what? Who depended on whom? Which systems mattered, and which were only symbols. They did not strike randomly. They planned. Meanwhile, the galaxy began to crack. Trade collapsed as routes became unsafe. Insurance networks failed. Smaller species panicked. Old rivalries returned. And everywhere, one question was whispered: what do humans want? Some believed humans wanted revenge. Others believed they wanted control. A few feared something worse. Then, a major alliance capital lost power. Not a colony, not a border world, a core world. The planet did not burn. The cities were not attacked. But every orbital defense shut down at once. Every fleet in the system froze. Human ships appeared above the planet. Thousands of them. They did not fire. They waited. Alien leaders sent frantic messages, demands, apologies, promises. For the first time since the betrayal, humanity replied. The message was short, clear, calm. This system was built using human labor and human blood. We are reclaiming it, nothing more. Human forces took control of stations, shipyards, and communication hubs. They did it cleanly, without chaos. Alien civilians were not harmed. Alien governments were removed. The galaxy watched in shock. This was not conquest. This was correction. One by one, systems tied to the betrayal fell under human control. Every move was precise, every action measured. No speeches, no celebrations, just quiet efficiency. Alien leaders began to understand something terrifying. Humanity was not angry. Anger fades. Anger fades. Humanity was focused. And focus does not stop until the task is finished. A senior Alliance historian said it best during a private broadcast. We thought humans were dangerous because they were emotional. We were wrong. Humans are dangerous because they learn. As human fleets continued to move, one truth became clear. The galaxy had betrayed humanity once, and humanity had decided never to be powerless again. The galaxy could no longer pretend. Humanity had returned, not with warnings, not with speeches, not with demands. They returned with presence. Across Alliance space, systems woke up to the same sight. Human ships. They appeared without alarms, without jump flashes, without distortion. One moment the sky was empty. The next moment it was full. Massive fleets hung above planets like silent storms. No formation symbols, no national flags, no signs of emotion, just stillness. On one core world after another, planetary defenses failed at the same second. Shields dropped. Weapon systems locked. Command networks froze. Entire militaries were blinded in a breath. Alien commanders screamed orders that went nowhere. Then the human message arrived. It was identical everywhere. Same tone, same words. Remain calm. No harm will come to civilians. The galaxy did not know how to respond. This was not how invasions worked. This was not how wars began. Human fleets did not attack cities. They did not bomb population centers. They did not destroy worlds. They took control. Spaceports were secured. Shipyards were locked down. Government buildings were surrounded. Human soldiers moved with calm precision. They did not shout. They did not threaten. They did not celebrate. They simply replaced authority. Alliance leaders demanded to speak. Emergency councils tried to gather. But human systems were already inside theirs. Every message was monitored. Every command delayed. Every secret exposed. The galaxy began to understand the scale of what humanity had done in silence. They had not built stronger weapons. They had built better control. A senior Alliance admiral tried to rally resistance. He ordered a counterattack in a neighboring system. The fleet never fired a shot. Its engines shut down mid-jump. Navigation failed. Life support dimmed. The ships emerged drifting and helpless, far from any help. Human ships appeared around them. A human commander spoke for the first time directly to an enemy officer. His voice was calm, almost tired. You lost because you still think war is about force. The transmission ended. The fleet was seized without bloodshed. Fear spread faster than any fleet ever could. Smaller species surrendered immediately. They powered down weapons and opened their systems without being asked. They had watched the betrayal years ago. They remembered who stood with humans. They remembered who stayed silent. Now they chose carefully. On Earth, humanity watched the galaxy react. There were no celebrations, no cheers, only quiet focus. Human leadership made one thing clear to their people. This is not revenge. This is correction. Every system taken was one connected to the betrayal. Every leader removed had signed the orders or supported them. No innocent worlds were touched. Human justice was sharp, but precise. Alliance propaganda collapsed overnight. Old speeches were replayed beside new reality. Citizens across the galaxy realized how much they had been lied to. Humans had not become monsters. They had become unavoidable. Finally, the remaining Alliance leaders demanded talks. They sent messages filled with apologies and fear. Humanity answered. A single meeting was announced. Not in Alliance space, not on Earth. It was held in open space above no world at all. Human ships formed a wide ring. Alliance representatives arrived under heavy escort. They expected anger. They found silence. A human representative spoke, standing alone. No guards. No weapons visible. You betrayed us once, he said. We learned. An Alliance leader tried to explain, tried to justify, tried to apologize. The human interrupted him. We are not here to punish emotions. We are here to remove risk. The room went cold. Humanity presented evidence. Every message, every order, every hidden vote, there was no denying it. Then the human made the galaxy's future clear. The Alliance will no longer exist. Gasps filled the chamber. It failed its purpose, the human continued. It protected power, not peace. A new structure was announced. Not an empire, not a council of the strong, a system of balance. Humanity would not rule directly. They would oversee. They would ensure no species ever faced betrayal without warning again. Some leaders protested. The human looked at them calmly. You already tested the alternative. Silence followed. Outside the meeting, human fleets repositioned across the galaxy. Strategic systems were secured. Old power centers dissolved. No flags were raised. No victory was declared. The galaxy did not feel conquered. It felt watched, and that frightened it more than any war ever had. Because humanity had not returned in rage. They returned with clarity, and clarity does not fade. As the meeting ended, one final human message was broadcast across every known system. We trusted once, never again. The transmission ended. Human ships remained. The galaxy understood at last. Humanity was no longer asking for a place among the stars. They had taken responsibility for them. The galaxy did not fall in a single moment. It unraveled slowly, system by system, decision by decision. After the alliance was dissolved, many believed chaos would follow. Old rivalries should have exploded. Ancient enemies should have gone to war. They did not, because humanity was everywhere. Not loudly, not proudly. Quietly, human fleets positioned themselves at key systems, trade hubs, gate networks, communication relays, the places that decided who moved, who spoke, and who survived. Humanity did not seize random worlds. They took leverage. Every system taken had a reason. Every move followed a pattern. Alien leaders soon realized something terrifying. Humans were not reacting anymore. They were executing a plan written long ago. On worlds once stolen from humanity, flags changed without battles. Human administrators arrived, calm and professional. They brought order, food, medicine, and stability. Human colonies were reopened. Human families returned home. Human shipyards powered back up. But they were different now. No celebrations, no speeches about victory, only quiet rebuilding. Alien species watched carefully. They expected punishment. They expected cruelty. It did not come. Instead, humans offered terms, not negotiations, conditions. Any world that had supported the betrayal would lose military independence. Their fleets would be monitored, their weapons limited. Any world that had stayed silent would be reviewed, carefully, fairly. And any world that had helped humanity during the betrayal, they were rewarded. Trade access, protection, influence. The message was clear. Humanity remembered everything. Some alien leaders resisted. One powerful warlord species refused human oversight. They declared humanity arrogant and threatened open war. Humanity responded once. A single fleet arrived at the edge of their territory. No warning shots, no threats. Human ships shut down every defense satellite in seconds. Their fleets lost power before they could even form ranks. Human soldiers boarded command ships and arrested leadership without resistance. The warlord species surrendered within hours. The galaxy watched in silence. That was the moment everyone understood. Humanity was not conquering. They were removing the ability to say no. Across the stars, old power structures collapsed. Empires built on fear crumbled when fear no longer worked, because fear requires unpredictability. And humans were predictable now. They would act. They would finish. They would not stop halfway. A human strategist explained it simply in a rare interview. Violence is expensive. Control is efficient. Human systems began to replace old alliance system. Faster trade routes, fairer dispute handling, strict enforcement of borders. Betrayal became impossible. Every agreement was tracked. Every action recorded. Every lie remembered. Alien diplomats felt exposed. They had built cultures on secrets and manipulation. Humans destroyed that quietly. Meanwhile, humanity reclaimed more than territory. They reclaimed respect. Species that once mocked humans now studied their language, their history, their methods. Human academies trained mixed species officers. Human law became the foundation of interstellar order. Not because humans forced it, because it worked. A new generation grew up under human oversight. They did not know the old chaos. They did not know sudden betrayals. They knew stability, and stability changes minds. Still, some feared humanity. They whispered, What if humans turn on us too? Humanity answered that fear without speaking. They limited themselves. Human fleets followed strict rules. Human leaders accepted oversight from neutral systems. Human power was vast but restrained. That restraint terrified the galaxy more than rage ever could, because rage burns out. Restraint endures. One final act remained. The leaders who ordered the original betrayal were brought forward. Not publicly, not violently. They were judged. Evidence was presented. Every message, every hidden meeting, every vote that sealed humanity's fate years ago. There were no executions. There was no mercy either. They were removed from history. Exiled, isolated, forgotten. A human judge delivered the final sentence. You decided humanity's future without humanity present. You will now live without influence. The case was closed. With that, the last wound healed. Humanity had taken back its worlds, its people, its place. But more than that, humanity had taken the galaxy's direction, not as rulers, as guardians, and the galaxy accepted it, not because it loved humans, but because it understood them. Humanity trusted once. The galaxy broke that trust, and humanity responded by making sure trust was never required again. Years passed. The galaxy changed. At first, many believed humanity's control would fade, that humans would grow tired, that old habits of betrayal and secret power games would return. They did not. Humanity stayed, not everywhere, not loudly, but where it mattered. Trade moved smoothly for the first time in centuries. Borders stayed stable. Wars did not suddenly erupt. When conflicts began, they ended quickly, not with destruction, with decisions. Human observers arrived before violence spread. They did not choose sides. They enforced rules. Break the rules, and systems shut down. Ignore warnings, and leadership was replaced. No speeches, no drama, just consequences. The galaxy adapted. Old war cultures struggled. They had thrived on fear, surprise, and weakness. Humanity removed all three. You could still fight, but only openly, only honestly, only knowing humans were watching. That knowledge changed everything. Children born across the galaxy grew up hearing a different history. Not the proud lies of the Alliance, not the excuse-filled stories of necessary betrayal. They learned what really happened. They learned that humanity trusted the galaxy once. They learned that trust was broken. They learned what followed. One sentence appeared in schools, archives, and military academies. Humanity did not seek revenge. Humanity removed risk. That sentence frightened leaders more than any fleet ever could. Some species hated humanity for it. They whispered in private halls. They stole our power. They decide too much. They watch everything. But none dared act, because everyone remembered what happened the last time humans were pushed aside. Humanity did not respond with anger then, and they would not respond with anger again. They would respond with certainty. On Earth, humanity changed as well. The old divisions did not return. They never fully disappeared, but they no longer controlled humanity's future. Humans remembered the silence. They remembered how alone they had been. That memory shaped everything. Human fleets continued to grow, but they were never shown in parades. Human weapons improved, but were never displayed. Humanity learned the most dangerous lesson of all. Power does not need to be seen, only felt. One day, a distant system tested the boundaries. A minor power tried to hide fleet movement, tried to prepare a quiet strike against a neighbor. Human systems detected it immediately. A single human envoy arrived. No fleet, no threats, just words. You are about to repeat a mistake. The system's leaders laughed. Then their fleet engines shut down. Not forever, just long enough. The message followed. We will leave now. Decide carefully. The human envoy left. Decide carefully. The human envoy left. The attack never happened. Across the galaxy, stories like this spread. Humans did not need to punish often. The memory did the work. The leaders who had ordered the original betrayal lived out their final years in isolation, forgotten, powerless. No statues honored them. No worlds remembered their names. History judged them quietly. One final galactic summit was held many years later, not by command, by request. Representatives from hundreds of species gathered. They asked humanity one question: will you ever trust us again? The human representative did not answer immediately. He looked at the stars, at the countless worlds now connected by stable paths, at a galaxy no longer burning itself every generation. Then he spoke. Trust is not a gift, he said. It is a responsibility. The room was silent. We trusted once without safeguards, he continued. That was our mistake. We will not repeat it. Some felt insulted, most felt relieved, because humanity was not leaving. They were staying, watching, balancing, ensuring that no young species would ever face the same choice humanity once had between survival and surrender. The galaxy had learned many lessons over its long history, but the greatest lesson came from humans. Not shouted, not enforced with terror, simply proven. You can betray humanity once, only once, because humanity does not forget. Humanity does not forget. Humanity does not forgive blindly, and humanity never allows the same mistake twice. Among the stars, a quiet saying spread. It was never made official, never written into law, but everyone knew it. Fear the angry empire, but fear the calm human. And so the galaxy endured. Not perfect, not peaceful, but stable, because humanity stood at the center, not as kings, not as gods, but as the final answer to betrayal,